Alrighty, hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cryptic Coil, and in today's video, I'm going to do a mostly Stephen King book haul. So let me get into it, but first, before I get into the Stephen King stuff, I want to show you this. I love finding old point horror books. So I found this one, it's called Ghost Host by Marilyn Singer. And I want you to look at the chick on the front cover. Okay, do you know who she looks like to me? She looks like Wendy Moira Angela Darling from Peter Pan, the Disney animated one that came out like a million years ago. That's like my favorite Disney movie. I've always loved Peter Pan. She looks just like Wendy with the blue dress and the ribbon in the hair. That's who she looks like to me. All right, so the tagline on the front reads, "How can Bart say no to a ghost?" And the synopsis or summary on the back reads, "Ghost busting isn't easy." And I believe this came out in the year 1987. Okay, so 1987 is when this book came out. So here's the summary. Bart Hawkins, star quarterback, has it all: looks, brains, personality, and a great looking girlfriend. But Bart's easy life is changing fast. His house is being haunted by a poltergeist, and this ghost is mean. Bart decides to get rid of the nasty little spirit any way he can, until he finds out that there are 9 other ghosts who live in his house, too. One of them, named Millicent, strikes a bargain with him. If he leaves the 9 ghosts in peace, she'll help him win his championship football game invisibly. This is one ghostly offer Bart cannot refuse. Sounds pretty dope to me. I'm down. Okay. And then I found this. It's a Goosebumps Slappy's World book. And look at this cover. Okay, this one is called Fifth Grade Zombies. And look at these like adorable little zombie kids hanging on the monkey bars. Okay, look at that one. He's like totally about to get you. Okay, and then I love the green fog in the background. Oh, it looks so good. All right, now let me read the summary on back as there is no tagline on the front. This is Slappy's world. You only scream in it. Okay, I can respect that. All right. When city kid Todd Coates moves from Queens, New York to live on a Wisconsin farm for a year, he's in for more than just hanging out with his cousins, Mila and Skipper. Strange things begin to happen all around him, but Todd is the only one who sees them, late at night, in the cornfields. Todd is convinced there is something of the undead variety out there. Will he be able to prove it to his classmates before school is dismissed? Permanently? Okay, sounds pretty good. All right. So now let me get into the Stephen King books. The first one that I want to show you is this one, and I did never heard of this one. Maybe I have, but I've never had it. So this one is called Full Dark, No Stars. And look at the cover. I mean, this is great. Okay, so the title, Full Dark, No Stars. I mean, that just sounds good. And then Stephen King's name is written in red. That sound, I mean, and then you have this like woman on the cover. You can't see her face, but she's naked and she looks really vulnerable. Now that is really compelling. And I don't mean it for like, perverted reasons. I mean, it's just like you see that and you feel this natural human like sense of concern, and you see something like this and you think, oh no, what's wrong? And you're compelled. You want to know. Stephen King, there's a good picture of him on the back. He looks cool. He looks like he's posing for a cologne ad or something. All right. Um, so let's read the summary on the tagline, or let's read the summary on the inside sleeve of the dust jacket. So I believe that there is another man inside every man, a stranger, writes Wilfred Leland James in the early pages of the riveting confession that makes up 1922, the first in this pitch black quartet of mesmerizing tales from Stephen King. For James, that stranger is awakened when his wife, Arlette, proposes selling off the family homestead and moving to Omaha. setting in motion a gruesome train of murder and madness. Okay, so 1922. I knew that that was a Stephen King story, but I've never read it, and they did turn it into a movie. It is available on Netflix if you haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I've been wanting to. I just haven't gotten around to it. Um, but yeah, so I guess this is a four-part. I guess this is a four-part short story book. So I guess these are novellas. Um, in Big Driver, a cozy mystery writer named Tess encounters the stranger looking or the str- in Big Driver, a cozy mystery writer named Tess encounters the stranger along a back road in Massachusetts. When she takes a shortcut home after a book club engagement, um, violated and left for dead, Tess plots a revenge that will bring her face to face with another stranger, the one inside herself. Okay, so that right there, that to me sounds very resemblant of a movie that I saw when I was 15. It was made in like the 70s. It was called I Spit on Your Grave. Some of you may know about this movie. Some of you may have seen it. I saw it. I was 15. And I read the summary on the back of the VHS. I did. I knew what I was getting myself into. What I didn't expect was a 20-minute scene. If you know, you know. Okay? Yeah, so I'm sitting there like 15 years old, wanting to watch a horror movie, okay? Uh I didn't want to see that. But I was only making minimum wage at the time, which was only like 5.25 an hour, and so I figured, might as well get my money's worth and watch the rest of the movie. And then you got past that scene, and then you watched the revenge unfold, and that was gratifying. I enjoyed that. Kind of like the movie Hostel, where the victim gets their revenge and all that. So um, after watching the movie, it occurred to me, I got a little brother, he doesn't need to be watching this, but if he sees it in my collection, he's gonna watch it. So I ended up breaking the cassette over my knee, and then I, tossed it in the trash. So that Big Driver story, ugh, I don't know if I want to read it because it just reminds me of I Spit on Your Grave. They ended up remaking I Spit on Your Grave, and I guess they ended up making like three sequels to it. So there's actually four. There's five. There's the original, and then there's the remake, and then there's three sequels after the remake. I saw them all for sale at Walmart one time in one DVD collection. I didn't buy it because I was like, they're gonna show that scene in all of them, and I just I'm not about that life. All right, so fair extension. The shortest of these tales is perhaps the nastiest and certainly the funniest. Okay, so it's the shortest, so that already sounds compelling. I hate to be that guy. Making a deal with the devil not only saves Dave Streeter from a fatal cancer, but provides rich recompense. Recompense. Never heard of that word. Never heard that word ever. Making a deal with the devil not only saves Dave Streeter from a fatal cancer, but provides recompense for a lifetime of resentment. Okay. When her husband of more than 20 years is away on one of his business trips, Darcy Anderson looks for batteries in the garage. Her toe knocks up against a box under a work table, and she discovers the stranger inside her husband. It's a horrifying discovery rendered with bristling intensity, and it definitely ends a good marriage. Like Different Seasons and For Past Midnight, which generated such enduring films as The Shawshank Redemption and Stand By Me, Full Dark No Stars proves Stephen King a master of the long story form. Okay, you know what? This actually sounds pretty dope, and I do want to read this one, not gonna lie. Now, this it said like different seasons and four past midnight. Speaking of different seasons, I found this. Now the dust jacket is, got some tears in it and everything, but the spine is like super good. The pages are super clean. Nobody wrote their name inside the book, which is cool. So let's see what this one's about. Now I have this in paperback. I don't have it in hardback. Um, so Hope Springs Eternal, Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption, the most satisfying tale of unjust imprisonment and offbeat escape since The Count of Monte Cristo. Apt people, a golden California schoolboy and an old man whose hideous past he uncovers enter into a fateful and chilling mutual parrotism. I know my dad's read this one before, but I haven't. I did see the movie, though. It has Ross from Friends. The Body. Four rambunctious young boys venture into the Maine woods and in sunlight and thunder find life, death, and imitations of their own mortality. So The Body. That's what Stand By Me. If you've seen the movie Stand By Me, it was based on this short story. And this short story is linked to it, because the body that they find, that person fled Derry, Maine to get away from the weird things happening in the town, and then they died on their escape from the Derry. A Winter's Tale, The Breathing Method. A tale told in a strange club about a woman determined to give birth no matter what. Huh. Okay. That sounds interesting. And then I have this one, and even though I am learning French, I don't know how to pronounce this. Dans Macabre. Someone did write their name on it. Barbara Sawyer in 1982. Okay. Now this one, the dust jacket's a little rough and paint's torn up, and it's got some, tears in it. But this is another one where the pages are pretty clean, and the spine is really strong and healthy. Um, it sounds to me like, so this is a book club edition, which is interesting. But Danse Macabre is this analysis of horror as a moving rhythmic search for the place where we live at our most primitive level. For the first time, Stephen King establishes a dialogue with the thousands of fans who've wondered about his strange control over a basically uncontrollable emotion. How can he do it? What were the internal and external influences on his writing? What channeled a natural writing talent into this distillation of fear? Okay. So this isn't really like a fiction novel. It's just Stephen King talking about writing, kind of like his book on writing. So that's interesting. Whenever a guy like that writes a book like that, it would probably behoove us all to read it. Okay, and then I have more. Sorry, give me a sec. Let me peel the thrift store sticker off this one. And I'm going to tell you right now, I read most of this book when I was in high school, and I never finished it. It was just too long for me, and there was a lot of pointless stuff, and so I never read it. I did watch the movie, and that was cool, but this is not a book that I want to read, and I'm actually debating between keeping this book for myself just to have it in my collection, and also selling it on eBay and making a couple bucks off of it. I don't need the money that bad at all, so I don't know. What's a man to do? I'm almost done getting this gosh forsaken sticker off the dust jacket. All right. So Stephen King, The Stand. Now, I read this in paperback form when I was a kid, but my dad had like this exact same copy on the bookshelf in our living room all throughout my childhood. This was his first ever Stephen King book, and I guess this is the book that made him fall in love with reading. But that book is about this super flu, and at the beginning of the book, I remember reading pages and pages and pages upon of these people and their names and their lives and their backgrounds, and then they die of the super flu, and then they're irrelevant to the rest of the plot. And that's why I wasn't really interested. But there are people that love that book, though. I'm just not one of them. Oh, so I already have this one, and I do have a book, or I do have a video in my or on my channel, and it's a book about my Stephen King collection. Someone in the comment section had actually requested that video, and wow, so this book has been donated to thrift stores multiple times, because I'm taking a different thrift store sticker off it now. That's hilarious. Okay. So I also picked up The Dark Half, which I already have a copy of. This one, I guess I will sell for a couple bucks on eBay. I have two more. So I have this one. I have Gerald's Game. Now, I remember asking my dad what this was about when I was a kid, and he, more or less told me. And at the time when I was a kid, it didn't sound that good. But now that I'm an adult, and it actually does sound kind of appealing, and it's not that big of a book. Like, I should totally read it. Just trying to get this gosh forsaken thrift store sticker off of it. Okay, and then I got one more. Oh, and this one is in such good condition too, so I'll keep this one for myself. Yeah, the dust jacket is in great condition. I'm pretty sure I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I don't know whether or not this is a first printing or not. I think it is, but this is the same one that my dad had when I was a kid. And I don't know what happened to that one. I don't remember selling it on eBay. I sold the books that he gave me that I didn't want, and I kept the ones that I did want. And that was one that I sold. Or that was one that I must have sold. Okay, and then lastly, I have the Bachman books. Okay, now again, my dad had this one on our bookshelf in the living room when I was a kid, and I currently have a copy of this, but I don't have the dust jacket. And then what's his name? Shady Side Library. He has this book without the dust jacket, and then I found this, and I was like, oh man, I have to get it just to make him jealous because I'm petty like that. I'm playing. Horns up, Shady Side Library. Love you, bro. But yeah, so it is cool that I have a good copy with a healthy spine, clean pages, nobody wrote their name inside, and it also has a dust jacket in pretty good condition. I mean, considering how old this book is, I mean, the corners might be a little messed up, whatever, but not negligible for sure. So there you have it, guys. I think that this was a pretty good haul. And here's the thing, they had even more books that I didn't buy. They had Desperation, but I didn't read it. I don't know if I'm interested. They had Desperation. They had Dreamcatcher. They had another one, but the spine was falling apart, so I didn't buy it. I don't know, but I think that I have a very respectable Stephen King collection right now. If you want, you can watch this video, and then you can go back and watch my Stephen King collection video. And yeah, I have a very respectable Stephen King collection. I mean, not to brag, but okay, I'm bragging a little. So what? Sue me. All right. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Horns up. Peace out.